Morning. Welcome to the Namm Show 2019. And Taylor Guitars really appreciates all of our dealers coming down. And we want to say thank you for an amazing 2018. And we're really looking forward to this year as we introduce the new Taylor Grand Pacific guitar. So Andy, V-Class was the big story last year. We built on that. We had our most successful year ever. 2018 was a record year for Taylor Guitars. And you've taken V-Class and done something new with it.
Well, I did something new with it, but in a lot of ways this was actually something older. So last year, with your help, we introduced pretty successfully this V-Class idea within our Grand Auditorium guitars. Now, in a lot of ways, that was like the most Taylor-ish Taylor we've ever built. Right? It was like a turbocharged Taylor guitar. So all that modern acoustic guitar flavor, that piano-like sound, that ultra-high fidelity, that thing that we're known for, you got more of it. It was great. We love it. And along with it, we got a level of intonation that we've never had. We've got balance that's ever better. But it's not actually what I first had in mind when I was thinking about that idea, this V-Class concept. It was right after we launched our redesigned 800 series guitars in 2014. Well, at the time, I was actually doing a lot of carpentry work. My wife and I were working on this old shack of a house, trying to get it fixed up so we could move the kids in and that kind of thing. And so I had been listening to a lot of the country and western bluegrass music that I grew up with when I'd work with my dad. My dad's a carpenter. And so we got really into this, a lot of old-time music. A lot of Doc Watson tunes, and of course David Grisman and Tony Rice and all these guys. But I was listening to a lot of these old records going, this is really great. This is fun music to listen to. It's fun to play. I wish there was a guitar that actually sounded like this. That'll make you stop for a minute. We'll stop there. Because when you think about those records that we're familiar with, that's not what most guitars actually sound like. Now, there have been quite a few times now that I actually had the opportunities to work on and play some of these instruments that had made the records that I loved. And you realize, this doesn't actually do what I wish it would do. It doesn't sound anything like the record, and I like the record a lot better. And, okay, well, that's the kind of the miracle of recording things. You get to play through a microphone, through a preamp and a compressor, and all these things, and have all these issues dealt with. So you can take an instrument and go, yeah, we're going to make it play well with others. So I wanted to make a guitar that would have the modern balance, the modern sustain, the modern volume and projection and intonation that we get, that we can build. But I wanted a different character in the note, a whole different personality. It's something that just has a different shape of every note. And so that's what this guitar is. And in a lot of ways, that's partly where the V-Class idea came from. So I realized in order to build this level of control into a guitar, I need a new system to work with, because I can't do it with what's available. I can't do it with a conventional X-Brace guitar. I can't do it this other way. We can't make those. It won't work. And so the V-Class idea is what allows us to now start moving into kind of further into chapter 2, if you will, with this notion that we can decide what we want the guitar to sound like. So in the same way that our modern, like an 814, man, that is the quintessential modern Taylor guitar. It's like sitting in front of a piano. You sit down and you play a chord. And those notes are in tune in a way that they haven't been before. It's great. But you could hear every single pitch in that chord. You take that same voicing and you sit in front of like a B3, an organ, and you don't hear those pitches. You hear this blend of all the notes together. That's what this guitar is doing. Every one of these notes will blend together and make a different sort of sound. they're accurately placed. They have this long sustain and this richness and warmth to them. But it hits you as a different type of flavor. So that's what this guitar's on about.
Excellent. So you've effectively taken the recorded sound and brought the purity of that to the instrument itself without having to worry about a signal chain to get that sound.
Yeah, because if I'm playing songs for my kids when they fall asleep, I want it to sound really good.
Yeah.
Or if I'm writing songs or playing at a club or in front of a microphone like this, whatever, you want it to sound good.
And it does. So you've also optimized player comfort from the first fret all the way down to the bridge. Can you talk about some of the features you've incorporated into the Builder's Edition version of this?
Yeah, so the Builder's Edition guitars, that was an idea that you first were introduced to last year with the K14s and the 614 Builder's Edition. It's coming from this idea that the two material ways I can make a guitar or an instrument better, make it sound better and make it feel better. Now, feeling better, what is that? It's all of this stuff. How does it hit you? How does it feel when you touch it? How does it draw you toward it? So with the K14, you saw this really cool cutaway, you saw the armrest and these chamfered off body edges where there's no sharp corners. That's amazing. I love that. The same concept comes in a different form in these guitars. So this one actually has a different neck shape. It's the first time in a long while that you've seen a different neck shape from us. But it's pretty unique in that it actually changes profile as you go up the neck. So down here by the nut, it's an ever so slight V. And then up here, where you don't wrap your thumb around the neck, it's a lot rounder. It's just a subtle change. But it's enough that wherever you're playing, it feels right. It feels great. The edges of the fingerboard are rolled in to this neck shape. The edges of the body are chamfered off so there's no sharp corners. Even the bridge, you notice for the first time in a good long while, this bridge, it resembles the classic Taylor bridge, but it isn't exactly the same. Curves fit this guitar a lot better. It fits the palm of your hand real nice. There's no sharp points or anything like that. So the whole guitar, it's meant to continue that idea of make it feel good, make it sound good. That's what a musician really loves about these.
Excellent. And some of those features are really challenging to do even in Taylor's environment.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I feel like I walk around with a kick me sign in our factory. It's all right. It's worth it.
So the Grand Pacific is being introduced in a 300 series. The 500 series and 700 series will be Builder's Editions. And we're getting them out right around the beginning of March.
Yeah.
Excellent. You want to play us out with a little something?
Sure. guys. Thanks for coming to visit us, and thanks for your help this last year. And here's to a good in 2019.
Absolutely. In addition to the Grand Pacific, we're also introducing V-Class bracing into our Grand Concert guitars, so make sure you check one of those out. And introducing a full line of curated tailorware products. So if you're a dealer, come on into the dealer room and check out our full line of new tailorware products. Thanks, and have a great show, everyone.